Welcome back to the Sunday News at 10. As we begin the second month now of the pandemic, in these days of continuing the practice of doing what we can to prevent the spread of the virus by staying at home, maintaining social distance, washing our hands, and more, it's important that we take this moment in our lives to look for things that we can do to help others get through these days of isolation and, for some, loneliness and even despair. And that's why we promise to continue bringing you the stories of the folks in our communities who are examples of how easy it is to do something that will brighten the day for neighbors who could really use a boost or a smile in their days, even if it's just for a moment. Stories like the one you're about to see.
Did you guys ever think that you would be builders of a squirrel picnic table?
No, yeah. I never imagined that.
Yes, you heard right. These Boise teens are building squirrel picnic tables. Jack England and Ryan Bohr are neighbors, and they're also students at Rocky Mountain High. Right now, as most high schoolers do, they have a lot of time on their hands. You could say they found a new calling during this pandemic, bringing joy to others in a most unlikely fashion, in the form of tiny squirrel picnic tables. Here's our Maggie O'Mara.
How in the world did you come up with making a squirrel picnic table?
My mom wanted one for Mother's Day, and she kept bugging me about it and wanting one. She saw a picture online, and she was like, "Oh, I really want one of those." Yeah.
So you guys made the prototype, and then what did you think when you got done with it?
They looked great, and we had an extra, so we just gave it to a neighbor across the street, and they ended up loving it. And then we were like, since people are loving this so much, then we could keep on making more. And in this time when people, I don't know, people aren't in the greatest of situations, they might need something like that, something to keep them happy.
Boise neighbors Jack England and Ryan Bohr have been spending quarantine together, building these little wood picnic tables for backyard squirrels. Yes, you heard me right, squirrels.
How many have you guys made?
Today we'll be making the last of 160 that we've had orders for. It started out with just like family and friends, and then our moms put it on like Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that, and people started to love them. Idaho Squirrel Picnics.
And you have a Facebook page?
Yeah, we do, yeah. And an Instagram.
These mini tables are getting a lot of attention.
I don't know. I mean, we're getting some orders from other states, so it's starting to get a little bit bigger. We spend most of our time lately just getting them made and then delivering them. We just drop them off on their doorstep. No contact deliveries,
The boys decided to start donating the tables to those who need a little joy in their lives during COVID-19.
We are planning to donate and give back to people that can't go outside right now and are have health conditions.
I hear you're giving them to nursing homes and other people.
Tomorrow we're going to install some at nursing homes.
So far, they've installed the tables at Edgewood Spring Creek and at Orchards Cascadia. The residents and staff were thrilled.
And what's the goal, for them to watch these squirrels through their windows?
Yeah. It's pretty fun since there's like the lockdown and the quarantine with everything, and some people can't even go outside. So just to be able to donate some and make sure people, if they really want one, they can be happy, that's all that matters.
How do the squirrels like the squirrel picnic tables?
They love them. Our mom's made a Facebook page where people can share their squirrels that have been on their tables, and there's tons of pictures of squirrels eating the food right off that table, so they love them.
Jack and Ryan are making squirrels and people really happy with this tiny table. They are Seven's heroes.
The tables cost $25, but the boys say they want to donate them to more nursing homes or those in need. If you want to order one or request a donation, go to the story on our website at ktvb.com. And just to add to these young men and their desire to do something for their community, get this, they are pledging to donate 10% of every sale over the next 2 weeks to Idaho Gives. Great job, fellas.